Mheshimiwa, we are here to tell you the truth. And if we don't tell you the truth as Gen Zs, we are doomed to fail and Kasongo will be back in power. And that is the truth. You need, Mheshimiwa, to start positioning yourself as a national leader, not as a tribal leader. And I know many...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Frontliner YouTube channel. And as usual, I'm going to be your host, and thank you so much for your great support that you are showing me on this platform each and every day. Now, my fellow Kenyans, we all understand that tribalism is the reason why Kenyans are passing through different challenges and problems through this government of President William Samoei that have been defeated to put things in order the way they promised the people of Kenyans whenever they were campaigning under their manifesto, where right now some leaders again under opposition side are now planning and aiming to use tribalism card to defeat President William Samoei on the ballot box in the next general election in 2027, where Gachagua is now telling Matiang'i to bring his people on the table, telling Kalonzo to bring his people on the table, telling Malala to bring his people on the table, same to Eugene Wamalwa and other people that are aiming to work with Rigathi Gachagua. So right now, we all understand that Rigathi Gachagua jet outside the country for 2 months tour in the United States of America so that he can interact with investors and also with Kenyans that are living there, so they can plan on how they are going to put things in order in the next general election to make sure that the people of Kenyans vote against this regime of President William Samoei. So yesterday, when Rigathi Gachagua was interacting, having interviews with the citizens of Kenya in the United States of America, one Gen Z stand up and confront Rigathi Gachagua with facts concerning to the tribalism card that Rigathi Gachagua is preparing to use to make sure that William Samoei is going to be a one-term president. I totally agree with that lady and that young man, according to the statement, according to the question that they were asking Rigathi Gachagua to behave like national leader, so that we can end this issue of tribalism. I want you to watch these 2 clips of the video so that you can understand how things are now getting more hotter and more tough for Rigathi Gachagua during his 2 months during his 2 months tour in the United States of America. Before we proceed with our analysis, you can watch.
You need, Mheshimiwa, to start positioning yourself as a national leader, not as a tribal leader. And I know many people won't like what I'm saying, but it's the truth. The first mistake that has been done in this event is speaking Kikuyu. And me, I'm from Madeira, Karandi, so not everyone knows Kikuyu, but I know a little bit. And unless that is addressed, then all this will be for nothing. Because the moment we position ourselves as Kikuyu, another tribe also positions themselves as a certain tribe. And before we know it, we are back to the same problem. I watched a speech about you in Boston, and the speech was a good speech, but there is something you said that Kikuyus are more hardworking, I'm paraphrasing, we've grown the country. But we have done that because we are a beneficiary of the system of Jomo Kenyatta. We cannot say that there are other people from other tribes who are not hardworking. They are. It's just like the whites here. We have that sense of entitlement as Kikuyus, and it has to stop. And if I don't say that, I will not be telling Mheshimiwa the truth. We want Kasongo to go, but we have to say the truth. And what else? Right now, I can't think of any other thing because we are still waiting for the program, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
By the way, did I explain myself on the narrative of tribalism? Did I make sense?
So what I'm wondering is, if we Gen Zs don't understand the mountain narrative, how are you going to engage us and find a way to position yourself or position this politics beyond one term and beyond the defense of Mulima. And by the way, I'm not embarrassed to be Kikuyu. I'm from Kirinyaga and Nyeri. You know, you can't get Kikuyu than that. You know, I'm very Kikuyu, but we have, you know, but that's just the truth. How are you going to convince us? Because, you know, I'm trying to explain to you the way we see it, right? There is that pride, yes, you know, of being a Kikuyu. You know, but there is also a people who don't see that. And we as Gen Zs are saying we are tribeless and we are fearless. And the politics being done now is the way it was done 20 years ago, 10 years ago, you know, and that is what is really scaring us, because if we divide ourselves, if you say you're coming to the defense of Mulima, then there's someone in, I don't know, Rift Valley or Western, who will also say they are going to that defense. And then there will be another group, I don't know, in, where? Coasts, yeah, we are going to that defense. And then now, there will be a vacuum gap, and then Ruto will become president.
I feel you, and the Gen Zs will help us deal with that nonsense, because they are tribeless, and they are fearless, and they want change, and nobody can intimidate them or coerce them. But before the Gen Zs help us to have that change, those communities that are targeted by Ruto for extinction must be protected, because if they are not, there will be nobody to vote. So I hear you, and I understand the way you think, but I also want to tell you at back home, the Gen Zs your age understand what's going on, because they are just there and they are feeling it. They can see that persecution, they can see the discrimination, they can hear the talk, and they can see the way they are being targeted. Because when you go to Kahawa court of terrorism, and out of 100 people charged, 96 are from one area. In the cells, they talk among themselves and wonder what is happening. Yeah. So that is a situation that is there. And it behoves upon leaders. If a people are under siege, those people must be cushioned from destruction and from fear. Because if they become fearful, then the oppressor has succeeded. You see, people...
So that is how things are now happening in the United States of America, while Rigathi Gachagua is enjoying the privileges of the government of Trump under tight security, VIP escort, and many other things that Rigathi Gachagua is enjoying right now on his 2 months tour. So it is true. That is what is happening right now. And you need to understand that a change cannot come in the Republic of Kenya if we still have this issue of tribalism, political conmanship, police brutality, legacy politician. The main problem in the Republic of Kenya are these two. Number one, tribalism. Number two, legacy politicians. These politicians that are so famous, popular in the Republic of Kenya, without leadership. They're just fame without leadership. It is true. We are having too much politicians in the Republic of Kenya with zero leadership. They don't know the reason why we elected them, the reason why we voted for them, so that they can. The reason why we voted for them, so that they can go there to help us. So that they can go there to serve our interest as the people of Kenyans, to fight for us at the parliament, to make sure that things are not getting more tougher whenever the government want to pass a new bill. It is true. We have already witnessed what is happening under the parliament, where the leaders, where the MPs that we elected to serve the interests of the people of Kenyans are busy serving the interests of the government and the interests of their relatives and friends, but they have refused to serve the interests of the people of Kenyans who really stood up with them whenever they were campaigning. So this issue of tribalism and legacy politician is something that we should fight for. It's something that we should fight for each and every day, to make sure that we bring change in the Republic of Kenya, to make sure that we end police brutality, so that we make sure that we end illegal abduction, illegal arrest, and many other challenges that the people of Kenyans are undergoing through this government of William Samoei Ruto. And if those issues will not be resolved, Kenyans will keep on going to the street to protest each and every day whenever they are demanding something to be done on them by the government of the day. Nakwambia 2027, 2028, 2029 bado tutaenda tu kwa street. Tusipotengeneza hizi maneno za tribalism, legacy politicians, bado tutakuwa tu kwa street. It is true. So that is what I wanted to update you on how Gachagua is now facing different challenges on his 2 months tour in the United States of America, where he was there, where he's just there to interact with the people of Kenyans, to meet investors, to prepare the ground with the Kenyans that are living there ahead of 2027 election, on how they are going to put things in order to make sure that William Samoei Ruto is going to be a one-term president. And it is true. For Gachagua to remove William Samoei Ruto from the power, he must use the tribalism card. Kalonzo must bring his 2 million people on the table. Matiang'i must bring 1 million on the table, that is 3 million. Gachagua must also bring 4 million, that is 7 million, together with other leaders that are aiming to work with the opposition leaders under Gachagua's camp, under Matiang'i camp, under Kalonzo camp. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.